beauties, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by me today. In this video, we're about to slay this kind of powdery blush pink makeup look. You know, it's suitable for Valentine's, and if not, if you're just a person who loves pink like myself, then here we go. We're gonna slay this powder pink. Okay, now I'm gonna start off by doing my brows. I just fill in the end part of my brow because I do kind of have brow, and then I'm taking this Colourpop concealer in the shade 46, and I'm just using this to clean up my brow and also as an eyeshadow base. And I'm not going to set this with powder because it dries really fast, so I'm going to move on to the eyes, and I'm taking this beautiful Wet n Wild powder blush. It's in the shade Mellow Wine. It's like the perfect blush pink on my skin tone, and I've had this blush for years, like literally years. I used to wear this blush so much, and I still haven't put like a dent or anything in it. I'm just gonna use that in the crease. You can build it up as much as you want. Then I'm gonna take this blush from MAC, Raizin is the name, and I'm just gonna use this to just deepen the outer corner of my eye lid, and then also sweep it in just a little bit, like about halfway, just add a little bit more depth to the look without making it too dark. Yeah, I love to use blushes on my eyes. Like, I feel like blushes are just like powder pigments, just like eyeshadows. Like, there's no rule. You want to put them in your cheeks, you put eyeshadow in your cheeks, put it in your cheeks. You want to put blush in your eyes, go for it. So after doing that, what I'm going to do is just kind of softly, not really cut the crease. I'm just going to clean up the eyelid for the next shadow. And I'm using the same Colourpop concealer and just, you know, clean up that area. And then I'm just going back with the color that we put on the end, the Raizin, and then also just blend in the crease. And then I'm going into my Take Me to Brazil palette from BH Cosmetics, and I'm taking the lightest pink color, like right in the top left hand corner, and I'm just gonna place this all over my lid. This is the exact like powdery pink color that I was going for. However, this shadow tend to go on a little bit more on the cheap side. I mean, it is cheap, we know it's cheap, but it kind of give me that kind of cheap look, so I kind of went in with my fingers to see if that give me a better payoff, and it was a little bit better, but it still wasn't exactly what I was looking for. Then I'm going back with a crease brush just to soften the edges, because we're not going for like a really defined cut crease. And then I'm going to take that second pink color just to add as a transition between the lighter pink and the end part, the darker end. And it didn't show up as pigmented, but it did make a difference. Then I'm going to take this pencil liner from MAC in the shade Long Espresso. It's like a cool tone brown, and it works perfect for the soft look. When you're going for soft looks, black sometimes can be a little bit too intense, so going for brown kind of helps to soften the look and just bring everything together. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and use also eyeshadow Embark from MAC, and I'm gonna go over the liner with an angle brush and just kind of smoke it back and forth just to give it like a very soft smoky wing look. And then I'm going to take a wipe and just clean up the end part, so it's like sharp on that bottom and then like smoky once it's going across the eye. Y'all see what I'm doing there? Then to enhance this eyeshadow, what I'm going to do is take my Fenty Mascara. Yes, I'm using the side that's called Mascara, which is more sparkly, and I'm just going to go over the eyelid color. Sip some tea, because your girl is always drinking tea, y'all. Tea is life. And put on my lashes. And I also want to mention that you could use brown or plum. Plum colors look really good with pink, like they're kind of in the same family. And then I'm moving on to my skin, and I'm taking the Fenty Beauty Pro Soft Matte Filter, the Fenty primer. I'm using that all over my face, and then I'm taking 2 pumps of Fenty Beauty in the shade 440 and one probably like a half a pump of my NARS Dark 3 foundation. I'm going to mix those two together on the back of my hand. I love mixing these two, and if this was nighttime, I would add like 2 pumps of the NARS, because I like to make my skin even deeper during the nighttime, you know, when you're taking photos and stuff. But yeah, I love the NARS Creamy Radiant. I love the finish, and I love the fact that it adds so much depth to any foundation. By itself, it's a little too dark by itself for me. And the Fenty Beauty, as you know, also has a flawless finish, but I could take a little bit more depth. Personally, I could take a little bit more depth in my Fenty Beauty foundation. Okay, now I'm going to take the Fenty Beauty concealer in 420, and I'm going to apply that under my eye, the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin area. And then I'm going to take the shade 490. Yeah, I think it's 490, and I'm going to use that as my cream contour. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit more cream contour ever since I got this concealer, because I like the way it looks. It just gives me like that fresh off fresh off vacation, like you went to an island, you was in the sun. It just make me look so bronzy and flawless, like I have a really good tan, which your girl kind of need right now. So yeah, we're gonna fake it until we make it. I'm just gonna blend this out with my 109 brush from MAC, and this is how this contour make me feel, y'all. Whenever I put it on, I'm just always like really feeling myself. So I'm gonna move on to blending out the highlighted areas with my Beauty Blender sponge. Well, that's not Beauty Blender, that's a Real Technique sponge, and yeah, it's damped. And I'm just gonna blend this out. This concealer blends out so flawless. However, I'm still kind of adjusting to how neutral the color is. And while I blend out the nose contour, I know I haven't like come back and said anything since I did my Fenty Beauty review. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll link that in the description below. But as for the concealers, for under my eyes, I like them. They're not my favorite. However, the contour color, the dark color, I'm living for. So yeah, that's the tea on that. The foundation I like. Everything else I kind of like, but the concealer, as I wear it more under my eye, it's not my favorite concealer, but I like it. I just don't love it. Okay, now after blending that out, I'll go back with the Beauty Blender sponge just to press and blend everything out, and then I'm just gonna set the highlighted areas with my Mecier medium deep translucent powder. And I don't bake. I just like to take a little bit of the powder and just press it over all the areas where I placed the highlight and concealer, and just dust away the excess powder. And now I'm going into my Fenty Beauty loose powder in the shade Coffee. This powder, however, I do love a lot. So I'm just going to put a little bit of powder on the top of the container, and then just take a large powder brush and just lightly dust over all the areas where we didn't put any of the Mecier translucent powder, and even over the edges of where those stop. Like for my forehead, you see I'm just lightly going across just to blend everything together. I like this powder for setting. It just add a little bit more of a, like, you know, flawless look to your makeup, all while setting it and not being like a thick pressed powder. So I do love this powder, and I'm going to take my MAC Studio Fix powder in N58 and just go over all the contour areas just to set it. And yeah, you see how this Fenty powder just add a little bit more airbrushness to my face. Yeah, that's what I love about this powder. Now going back into the same Wet n Wild blush that we started with, I'm going to apply this on the apples of my cheeks and then just blend it back into the contour. And I'm going to apply about 3 layers, because your blush tends to fade a little bit faster than everything else. So I'm going to put on a little bit more, and we're going to go over it with highlight. So yeah, I'm going to take this kind of pink highlight first from MAC in the shade Show Gold, and then I'm going to take Beaming Blush, which is also from MAC. These are the In Extreme Dimension highlighters, and I'm just going to layer this too, just to give me a very soft dimensional highlight. I like to layer highlight. It looks really pretty, especially when like light hit you right at the angle where you layered your highlights. Yeah, it looks really pretty. So yeah, moving on, I'm gonna take the same brown pencil that's Long Espresso from MAC, and I'm gonna use that to line my waterline. And then I'm gonna take the same blush just to smoke under the waterline, under my lower lash line, and just tie everything together just to tie this whole soft blush pink look. And it looks really flawless. And then I'm just gonna drag out the ends so it doesn't look like it just stopped right there. You know what I mean? And then going into the mascara, you see what difference adding mascara to your lower lashes makes. Some people think it looks like spider, especially if you have long ones, but I really like the effect of, like, adding mascara to my lower lashes. Just open up my eyes more and make them look more, more appealing. Okay, now I did line my lips just now with Plum lip liner from MAC. Then I'm also taking this other like powdery pink lip liner, also from MAC. I think it's in the shade Hip and Happy. I don't know if they make this shade anymore, but you could find something closer, or use like a very light powder pink lipstick. And now we're not gonna leave it like that, looking so powdery and, like, kind of donutty. So I'm gonna go over it with Fashion Scoop Cremesheen lip gloss. That's also from MAC. And I'm just gonna put on a good amount of this, and it was looking a little bit too like purpley pink. So what I did was went back with Chestnut lip liner and just outlined my lips, and this helped to like tone down the purpleness or the plumminess of the plum lip liner make it look more like the pink that I was going for. Okay, now I'm gonna set my brows and take the Beaming Blush highlight just to highlight my inner corner, and yeah, that's it. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know you like this kind of powder pink, blush pink. Pink is one of my favorite colors. I love pink. And yeah, if you're interested in this fall look, I'll leave the tutorial link down below. So yeah, thank you guys again so much. Until next one, bye guys.